Hey everybody, autobotjohn here, and I just wanted to do a quick video. Something I just came across on YouTube, and I just subscribed to the guy. So there's a guy I've been watching called Chris Stuckman, and he's like a movie critic. Anyway, apparently, and I haven't read it yet, but I plan to. He did a kind of rewrite script for the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice movie, which I'm going to go ahead and tell you was, to me at least, an excellent movie. Was it the movie of the summer? Was it the best superhero movie of all time? No, it wasn't. And there was a lot of stuff that I thought could have been changed in it. But with that being said, he went and did and he even said in his video it's a crappy, he did a real rough 20-minute rewrite, and it, it got a lot of mean hatred. I mean, he was talking about people calling up his dad and cursing him out, and people telling him that, threatening him. It's just stupid stuff. So part of this video is being addressed to him. If you're watching this, I don't know if you'll watch this or not, but I kind of understand where you're coming from. I deal with it all the time. This is to anybody who's trying to make a YouTube channel or just get into writing, painting, sculpting, any customizing, anything like that, any kind of art form. Um, you have to develop a tough skin. And the reason I say that is because there are those people, and this does not make them bad. I call them misunderstood, sort of. It's a nice way of putting it. There are those people who will do anything they can, say anything they can to stop you from doing what you want, your love, man, what you want to do, and you cannot let those people get to you. For instance, me as an example, when I first started painting, I thought I was good. I was being trashed by people, mocked by people. My YouTube channel, I was having parodies made, and I probably still have people making parodies that I'm not aware of. And I'm going to go out and say that I've said this before on my channel in one of my videos. One of my best friends on YouTube, Facebook, just been a good guy. Started off as a guy I couldn't stand because he tore me apart. I showed my life-size Heath Ledger Joker bust that I had just bought, painted it up, put a wig on it. I mean, I thought it looked good. My friends at work thought it looked good. My next-door neighbor, who's my best friend, thought it looked good. This guy went up there, made a video on his channel, and basically trashed it. Said it was pathetic, that what I was trying to sell it for was a joke, which at the time it was, but I was desperate and I was looking to try and not only get into the business of customizing, but trying to make some money on the side. But because I didn't really understand the physics behind all this, and just putting his name out there, everybody knows it. Odell, you my boy, Odell, always will be. Dude was dead honest with me, set me straight. And I really think because of that is why I am today with my painting and my work. There's been a lot of people that just trash talk me, and there's been a lot of people. Hell, when I first started, I still get people tell me just give up, stop what you're doing, you're pathetic, you're a joke. I just posted last week my 19-inch Jakks Pacific repaint of the Armor Batman and Superman from Dawn of Justice. I've had people who have told me it looks good. I've had people who told me it looks like crap. And you're gonna always have those kind of people. You're gonna have the negativity. And as a writer, a painter, sculptor, any kind of comic artist, anything that has to do with any kind of art or in general anything like that, movie producers, you have to develop a tough skin, because if you don't, you might as well just give it up, because they're just going to keep hounding you until you just look one day and you're like, I can't do this anymore. And I've come to that point almost. There was a couple of times where some people were leaving such mean comments over little plastic dolls that I was making for me. I don't make these to give to anybody or sell. These are for me because I wanted these, and I was tired of waiting for companies to make them. I was getting stuff like, just why don't you kill yourself? The world would be a better place without you. Your painting is a joke. Just give up. You're never going to make it. You're never going to amount to anything. Mean comments. And you know what you have to learn to do? That's exactly it. If I could steal one from John Cena, you have to shrug your shoulders and brush that shit off. Keep doing your thing, man. So, Chris, if you're watching this, man, I just subscribed to you, but I really like your reviews. You're an honest guy, and don't let them get to you, man. I'm gonna I'm gonna read your rewrite, because I think it took a lot of courage to do what you did, and I support you for it. Now, the second part of this video, I'm not a writer. You can ask any of my friends. I can't write worth of shit. I got a lot of ideas. I just can't put it on paper. I'm not the best speller. So I'm just going to tell you in a video my personal rewrite for Dawn of Justice. Do whatever you want with it. Mock me. Send me threats. I don't care. You know, if it gets you to the point where you want to kill me, bring it. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of anyone. I've had a gun put in my face 3 times in my life. I've been robbed. I've been home invasion. You ain't shit. So if you don't like what I say, tough. And if you do like what I say, cool. That's how I look at it. If you don't like my work, you shouldn't watch my videos. But anyway, here's what I think could fix the Dawn of Justice. Okay, first of all, less emphasis on Batman. Now, don't get me wrong. Ben Affleck was by far, in my opinion, the best Batman we've ever had on screen. It is the Batman I've always wanted to see. Very tough for me because, honestly, the first Batman I saw, besides Adam West in the TV show, the very first Batman was Michael Keaton. And to some, that's like blasphemy. You know, oh, I can't believe you. Oh, Michael Keaton is the best. Yes, Michael Keaton, to me, he is still probably one of the best Batmans. But, I mean, if you saw Dawn of Justice, Ben Affleck's Batman was dark. He was tough. He was savage. He was Batman. He scared people. I mean, it was the Batman we've all wanted to see. Sorry to keep showing this. I'm not trying to make this a video about this because I already did that in another video. It's just, you know, this is, we're talking about Batman, so Batman by El Papa Customs, and then reworked and retooled by me. Anyway, so my opinion is, for the DC universe, Batman is such an established character already because of the films, because of the show Gotham. He's like the number 2. You know, he is DC basically, and then I can't believe I'm saying this, but he is. And this is, let me go ahead and get this out because I've had a lot of people attack me about this too. I am not against Batman. I never have been. I love Batman, but my main guy, my favorite superhero of all time is Superman. And this is where I think Dawn of Justice had its problem, is that they I understand they had to reintroduce Batman into this new DC universe, and they had to fit in with Superman. But he's had so many movies and so many different adaptations that I think he's already such an established character. You didn't have to tell a backstory. You could have just thrown him in it, and people would have been, oh, okay, it's Batman. Do you have to reintroduce him to people? I don't think so. Even a 5-year-old kid knows who Batman is. So that's their first mistake, was they turned it from. I think he overshadowed the movie. And it's nothing against Ben Affleck, and it's nothing against Batman. It's just I think that character overshadowed this film. Because I've heard some people say, well, he's the best part of the film. Well, that's because sometimes when I'm sitting, and I've seen the movie 4 different times now, and each time I watch it, I get the same thing when I come out. I love Batman. He's awesome, but he was the movie. It was his movie. They should have just called it Batman Dawn of Justice. I think Superman got shafted. True, he's in the film. I think they're about equal, to be honest, but there's not much emphasis on Superman. And they turned him into. Superman's more of a villain to some people. And I can understand they want to go with the realism, but I think that's their second mistake. So the first thing I would do to change it, maybe make it better, is I would have had less emphasis on Batman. He should have been a supporting character and not the main character. My second emphasis, this should have been the sequel to Man of Steel. You just introduced Superman into the universe. It had been how many years since Christopher Reeve played Superman? And I don't count Superman Returns because that was a mess. It was not a good movie. I don't, and I'm a Superman fan. And Brandon Routh did a great job playing him, but that movie was just garbage. It was good, but it was boring. It was them trying to create another Christopher Reeve movie, and those movies worked back in the 80s and the early, in the late 80s. They don't work for today. So that being said, Man of Steel to me was a great movie. I didn't have that many flaws with the film. I really didn't. Because for all these years, all I keep hearing, especially from one of my best friends, all I ever heard was Superman's such a Boy Scout. He never, in the movies he doesn't really do anything, just chases rockets. And then Zack Snyder comes along and says, okay, well, I'm going to take Superman and put him in what would it be like today, and he's going to fight, he's going to throw punches, he's going to have battles with more Kryptonians. He is going to become a tougher character, but a darker version, because it's more like he doesn't want to be this character. He wants to just live a normal life. Now, my question is this: if people had a problem with Man of Steel because of that storyline, why didn't they have a problem with Smallville? Because it's basically the same thing. Yes, it was more seasons, so the story got more drawn out, but the exact thing is he's discovering who he is and ultimately not trying to become this character. He wants to be normal, and so I don't understand why people were against Man of Steel. The biggest thing I heard about it was that the death toll. Oh, well, the battle at the end of Man of Steel, so many people died, so many people. Can I ask you a serious question? And I want serious comments. And I am not against Marvel. I love both DC and Marvel. DC to me is better, but I love Marvel too. I'm a comic book fanatic. I love Spawn, Max, I love them all. So anyway, here's my point. So you're sitting there telling me that in the end of Man of Steel, that battle between Zod and Superman, yes, people died. But you're telling me that you're not going to mention the fact that in Avengers, at the end, people died too. Because I'm pretty sure they couldn't save everybody. And then I know for a fact there had to be some people that died at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron. You mean to tell me that in Thor, the Dark World, when that that whatever machine or whatever came into the city, people didn't get killed, buildings got torn apart. So you mean to tell me that people didn't die in the Marvel movies? I call bullshit on that. But people won't acknowledge that. Oh well, the Avengers saved people. Yes, they did, but they didn't save everybody. There's no way in hell they saved everybody. And if they're going to sit there, if Josh Whedon is going to sit there and say, "Yeah, the Avengers did save everybody," well, that's not realistic because you can't. That's not possible. So I back Superman in Man of Steel because yes, he saw the greater threat, Zod, and yes, should he have tried to save more people? Oh, absolutely. But you also have to remember this is that was a fresh Superman. He was he had not done that before, so yes, he made some rookie mistakes. And that's where I think that Donna Justice. That's their third thing that they could have changed. Probably could have changed the movie. Um, because the opening of Dawn of Justice is beautiful. You find out Bruce Wayne was in Metropolis during the whole battle. Wayne, that one tower, the Wayne Tower, is taken down. His friends are killed. His employees are killed. People are dying everywhere. It makes him angry. And then they cut that. I think that should have been the story. And this brings me to my fourth part, which I know I'm going to get a lot of hate over this. I'm going to go ahead and say this. And I hope he's watching, and I hope somehow somebody gets this video to him, because Mr. Jesse Eisenberg, you did a great job. You were a great Lex Luthor. I'm going to say it. I don't like all the words I've been hearing about, well, I compare him to the Joker. I don't compare him to the Joker. I compare him as a psychotic. Something's definitely wrong with him, but his plan was beautiful. I think the problem is that people saw it was Jesse Eisenberg. They've watched him in other movies, and yes, his other movies are not memorable. They're not that good. He always plays about the same character, and I think that's what people were thinking is like Jesse Eisenberg is Jesse Eisenberg, and when this movie comes out, I'm going to go watch it, but he's still Jesse Eisenberg. Even though they explain in the movie this is not Lex Luthor, this is his son, this is Alexander Luthor. Personally, I think Zack Snyder dropped the ball on the Lex Luthor thing. Now, Jesse did a good job, but I think they could have gone a different route. I think Bryan Cranston should have played Lex Luthor. I had heard a rumor he was going to. Why they didn't get him to, why they didn't go it that way, I don't know. Because personally, I think Superman, it would have been so, the story to me would have been so more fueled if after the destruction of Metropolis, after the battle with Zod, you had Lex Luthor come out, Bryan Cranston, and he's politicking, he's getting people to turn against Superman because of what happened there. And does the world need a Superman? And he doesn't save anybody, he caused more destruction than anything, he brought this to us. I would have loved that story. They didn't go that route. Honestly, Lex Luthor's motive is in the movie. I could. He doesn't really have a motive except he just wants to see these two fight. He has no reason to really kill Superman, but he wants him dead, or he wants him to, he wants to get Superman humiliated. He wants people to turn against him, but there's no real motive for it. But that doesn't mean Jesse Eisenberg did a bad job. I think the Lex Luthor story was a little weak, and they probably could have done it a little better. That would have saved the movie. It would have gave him a motive. Bryan Cranston's character could have tried to turn everybody against Superman, and then in Lex Luthor fashion, that's when they could have had the rivalry between him and Superman. Because ultimately, Luthor wants Superman dead, humbled, humiliated, because he wants to be the top guy. He wants to be the one everybody looks to. They should have followed the animated series, Superman the animated series, Lex Luthor's character, and that is by far the best interpretation from movies to television, anything you could ever think of. I think the animated series Luthor is the best interpretation. They should have followed that. I have no problem with Wonder Woman. I think she was perfectly put in the movie. I think she was perfectly done, and I can't wait to see the standalone movie for her. Let's get to the dream sequence, the Dawn of Justice bullshit. Um, Not a fan of it. Believe it or not, I was looking forward to it. But first of all, if you're going to show a character, you have to make it where the audience knows who this person is. So after the dream sequence with Batman being unmasked, Superman crushing him, the whole apocalypse thing, Batman wearing the trench coat, killing people with guns, the Flash appears to him in the Batcave, and he says something like, I'm too early, he's the key, you were right about him. Who the hell are they talking about? Who is this guy? Because I remember the first time I watched the movie in theaters, I'm like, is that the Flash? Because I can't tell, but it looks like a guy in armor. Is that supposed to be the Flash? So Zack Snyder dropped the ball on the Flash. If you're going to introduce the Flash, you've got to make the audience, you've got to put it to where the audience knows, hey, that's the Flash. I saw no racism or anything, don't take this the wrong way, but I saw a Mexican guy wearing some kind of, it looked like Halo armor or something, briefly. And that was the Flash. Aquaman looks cool, but to be honest, the way they introduced it was okay. I think they were shoehorned in for Justice League, and I think that's a mistake. See, I think their biggest mistake is that this movie throws way too much stuff into it because DC is trying to catch Marvel. They want to catch them in one movie, and I think what they should have done is introduce your characters, standalone movies, bring them all together like Marvel did. That's the perfect formula. And if it's copying, it's copying. But it worked for them, and it could work for DC. But DC is too impatient, and they don't want to take their time. They just want to throw everything at you because they want that money. And the sad thing is, as much as I love Marvel, they're going to fizz out. I don't see this going forever. They say, oh, we have all these different phases, or fans are eventually going to get sick of these. I mean, the movie industry lately, to me, as much as I love superheroes, where it used to be one superhero movie coming out a year, now you got 4 or 5 coming out a year. It's going to get boring after a while. People are going to be tired because all they see is, oh, another superhero movie. Oh, yay. And other films don't have a chance because they're being drowned out by the superhero movies. So I think eventually Marvel is going to phase out because people are going to get tired of it. Honestly, after in the Infinity Gauntlet 1 and 2, I don't see what else they can do physically and properly. I mean, I could be wrong. They could go forever, but I think eventually it's going to be like wrestling. It's going to be a phase. It's gone. It's going to end. DC can play catch up because Marvel's going to hit the peak, and then they're going to. I mean, you can go no higher once you hit the peak, and Marvel's close to it. I don't want to see that happen because I love the Marvel movies, but at the same time, yeah, DC needs that peak. They deserve to have that title, that respect too. So hopefully they do it right in the next one. What else could have saved this movie? I have no problem with Batman killing, and I'm going to leave it at that. Technically, he's killed in every movie he's been in. Whether he physically did or not, he's still killed. Doomsday, I don't think they needed him in the film. I think he should have been a character saved for future DC movies. I think they should have established the Justice League first, then maybe another Superman standalone movie. Then, once everybody's together, we know who these people are. After the Darkseid battle, then bring Doomsday into it. I think one of the major mistakes of this film was this. This man right here, the Man of Steel, Superman, he only had one movie and you killed him. I literally was, the first time I saw the film, I was upset because I could not believe they did that. He only had one movie and they killed him already. This is supposed to be, Superman is the flagship of DC. Everybody thinks it's Batman, but it was Superman that started the whole comic book genre thing. And if it wasn't for him, there wouldn't have been an Avengers. There wouldn't have been Batman. There wouldn't have been Spider-Man. He started it. And you killed him. I think that's a mistake. Now, I already know where they're going with this. He's going to be back in Justice League. They're going to have it where he comes back. I mean, it's going to be resurrection. You know, I understand that, but too soon. Too soon. He should have had at least one more movie, Justice League. Then you can do that. You don't kill him in the first. This. That was the biggest flop in this movie to me, was they killed off Superman too soon. There was no point. Now some stuff I think could have improved it. The fight. It was a great fight. Don't get me wrong. If you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend watching just to see those two go at it. But it's too long of a wait. There's too much build up for not enough action. The fight's not that quick. It's like two boxers going at it. Everybody's excited. You know, oh, this guy's going to knock this guy. And you're waiting and you're expecting this to go, oh, it's going to be a 10-round fight. You know, you can't wait. It ends in the first round. And that's how this fight is. It's like there's a few good hits, then it's over. And I think Superman got gypped in the fight. And I understand, yeah, he wasn't really trying to fight him. He wasn't trying to hurt him. He wasn't putting all his effort into it. But there's a point in the fight where he gets pissed off, and you see him get pissed off, and he should have took Batman to school, but they let Batman get the advantage, like I knew they would, and, you know, kryptonite and all that. Which, that is another thing that bothers me. He had kryptonite grenades or something, right? With gas pellets or whatever you want to call it. He shot it at Superman. Now, if I'm correct, Superman should have been able to dodge that because he's faster than a speeding bullet, right? So he should have dodged it. So you mean to tell me that Batman loading a gun and shooting, he was faster than Superman? I'm not buying that. Did I have a problem with the Martha thing? No, but I think it ended a little too quick. It's like Batman's ready to kill him. Superman's like, you're letting him kill Martha, and then Batman kind of has like this, oh, why'd you say that? Why'd you say that name? And then Lois explains that that's Superman's mom's name, and it's like Batman just like, oh, we have to be friends now. I think that was a little too quick. That shouldn't have happened that way, but for people to say that is stupid, it's not stupid. It's actually great writing, because how many of you would have sat there if they hadn't said that and been like, Martha. Oh, yeah, Martha Kent and Martha Wayne. They both had mothers named Martha. The writer put that together. I would never have thought of that, to be honest. That wouldn't even have crossed my mind. So kudos to the writers. I think that was a good move. But those are the things I think could have improved this film. Now, where DC goes from here, Warner Brothers goes from here, I hope it's the right move. Now, I heard that they they've reshot certain things for the Suicide Squad because they don't want it to be so dark. I don't think that's their problem. In fact, I'll go ahead and put one further. I think if DC lightens up a little bit the way they're looking like they're wanting to match Marvel, it ain't going to work for them. See, with Marvel, it kind of works because you have humorous characters. You have Tony Stark, who is just arrogant and he always talks shit. Spider-Man talks shit. You got Thor who thinks he's above everybody else, so he talks shit. Basically they are like that. That's how their characters are. That's how they are in the comic books, and so on screen, that's how it works. Batman does not crack jokes. Superman does not crack jokes. Most of the DC characters do not crack jokes. So the way they have it in the dark kind of thing works, and they should keep it that way. That's my personal opinion. Do I think they could add a little bit of comedy to it? A little bit, but don't go overboard. Suicide Squad looks like they're going to have, I don't know, it looks like they're going more comedy than the dark, and I don't think that's going to work. That's just my opinion. Now, I think Suicide Squad's going to be good, but I don't think it's going to be the movie that saves this universe. Now, everybody is also putting comments like DC's done. This is it for them. It's over. They're finished because of this one movie. I don't think so. DC is not done. They still have Wonder Woman that can bring them back. Justice League is now being shot. And the good news is, from what I read online, Ben Affleck has the Batman movie now that he's pushing, and he has full control of that. He has the creative control of that film. That's a good thing because Ben Affleck is a great writer, and he is also a great Batman. Two good combinations. I'm looking forward to those films. And for all we know, they may sneak Superman's resurrection in the standalone Batman film so they don't have to just do it in Justice League, because I think that's going to be the wrong move. I'm worried about Justice League. Without standalone movies, you're hoping that fans will know who these people are. They would know who Flash and Arrow are if it was the Flash and Arrow from TV. Then people would be like, oh, that's Stephen Amell, and that's the Gustin, the guy that plays Flash. But they're not going to do that. They're going to get new people to play the part, change the costumes, and people are going to be like, who is that? Oh, he's running fast. It must be the Flash. Oh, he's underwater. That's Aquaman. That's Cyborg. And I think that's the wrong move. Just because you showed him in a quick little clip here and there in Dawn of Justice does not mean people are going to know who these people are when it comes to the Justice League. Justice League, in my opinion, should be pushed off. DC and Warner should listen. Zack Snyder should listen. You should do Wonder Woman, a standalone Batman film, and for God's sake, don't put the Joker in it. He's been played out. No offense to Jared Leto, but no more fucking Joker. All right, Joker's played out. There are other villains in Batman's universe than the Joker. How about the Riddler? To Jim Carrey was a great Riddler, but that was a joke of a movie. Bring in a more serious Riddler. A standalone Batman film. A fucking Man of Steel sequel, because Superman deserves one more fucking standalone movie. Then a Flash movie would be nice and bring Arrow into it, like they do in the TV show. Some kind of crossover maybe to introduce the two. Cyborg is not that cool of a character and does not need a standalone movie. In fact, to be honest, I don't think he needs to be in Justice League. There should be other characters to take his spot, but that's just my opinion. Once you have those movies established, then Justice League. And if it pisses people off, fine, piss them off. But do it the right way. Justice League coming out in 2017, is that what they said? 2017, 2018? Too soon. Don't do it. Push it back. Push it back. Follow what Marvel did. They made 2 Iron Mans, a Captain America, 2 different Hulk movies, Thor. They made all these films and then brought it all together for Avengers, and it broke box office records. You have the opportunity to do it. Do it the right way. Don't rush it. But they're going to rush it. They don't listen to the fans. And Zack Snyder, swears he's a Superman fan and he's not going to do him wrong, and you've done him wrong. I mean, you're a fan and you killed him in his second appearance in a film. You didn't even give him a standalone film, another standalone film. You're so DC is so afraid that they're going to fail without Batman. Get over him. I love Batman, but this film, it was too soon for Batman v Superman, in my opinion. He should have introduced Batman, Ben Affleck, in his own standalone film first, another sequel to Man of Steel, then you could have had the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. It would have made a lot more sense. People would have been already on board because they would have loved Affleck's performance. People would have been happy with Henry Cavill again. Oh, he had a second movie. He fought Metallo. Cool. Or Parasite. Now bring the two. Let them clash. Let that happen. Establish Lex Luthor already in the Man of Steel sequel, and then bring him over to Batman v Superman. Then after Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman, a Flash movie, then Justice League. They still have time, but the one thing I'm saying I don't want to see, and I've seen certain people already put this, scrap it, start over. Do not do that. I don't want another Superman. I don't want another Batman. I like who's playing the characters now. Keep them. Come up with a better script. Don't rush these movies. Take your time telling the story like Marvel does, and you will succeed. People are wanting this. As many people are looking forward to Civil War, and the Spider-Man Homecoming and all the Marvel movies, there are so many more people who are clamoring, dying and cannot stand it, who want decent DC movies. And you did good on Man of Steel, and to me, you did good on Dawn of Justice, but you could have done better. It did not meet the expectations. Don't rush it. Take the time to tell the story, develop these characters to where people care about them, like they do Iron Man, and you will succeed. People will go see your movie. It will break box office records, because I'm telling you this as a comic book fan, as a Superman fan, as a Batman fan, and just a fan in general. If you take the time, tell the story the way it should be told, and give the love to this franchise that it deserves, and don't give a damn about the dollar sign, just make a movie that the fans will want to see. Justice League has the potential to crush the Avenger movies. Because as good as the Hulk and Thor and Captain America and Iron Man are, these two are the originals. And the Holy Trinity with Wonder Woman added in, plus if you bring Flash in the Green Era, Justice League is the film that, as a comic book fan, people are waiting for and dying for. We want a good film. I don't want to go to theaters and go, well, it was good, but it could have been better. I want to go to theaters and say, that was the comic book team-up movie I've been waiting for. That was awesome. And I honestly hope it breaks box office records to where Marvel goes, shit. But if you keep going this direction, that's not going to happen. Well, guys, this video is already going almost on 40 minutes. I thank you for watching it. Leave me comments what you thought about the video. Do you agree with what I've said? Do you agree how I think DC should take more time telling and developing each character? Do you agree with what I said about Batman and Superman? If you didn't like the video, leave me comments, but be tasteful, okay? Because just like Chris, like I said to Chris, people are just going to be out to get you sometimes. Some of the stuff they say is hurtful, so come on, guys, remember that. All right? I'm not out to hurt anybody's feelings. And I'm not out to get my feelings hurt. I'm just expressing my opinions, how I think that this universe that they've set up has still potential if they take care of it. All right, guys, here's hoping that somebody listens. And I can't wait for Civil War. All right, guys, peace.